This episode will be released at the end of January, and it was strategically planned to come out at this time because we're going to be talking about revisiting your goals for 2024. 43% of people would have already given up on their goals for the year by this point. And so in this episode, I'm going to talk about the 3 common key factors as to why we give up on our goals too soon. The first reason is that there's a knowledge gap. You just don't know what you need to do. This holds people back so much, but the truth is that you only have 3 options as to what you can do if you have a knowledge gap. The first is to find someone who has the information or do your own research. The second is to just start taking action and figure it out as you go. And the third option is to not do anything at all and go back to your regular life. If you have a goal that is important enough to you, you're going to pick option 1 or 2. If you pick option 3, I'm telling you right now, you haven't attached enough meaning and purpose to that goal, and it's not that important to you. I don't care how much you say that you want it. If you choose not to take action or to not figure out what you need to do yourself or ask someone that has done it, then you are giving up way too soon, which tells me that there's 0 commitment on your side to actually get the outcome that you're looking for. That is just excuses, and I am just not very tolerant of that. But you have those 2 options. You have finding the information through your own sources or through people, or by taking action and figuring it out as you go. These 2 are going to be dependent on what the goal is. I think a mix of both is probably the best way to go, but don't get hung up on trying to get all of the information that you need before you take action. Because knowing something and not taking action, so if you're spending a lot of time just trying to figure out the steps and put a plan together, and trust me, I've been there. I've spent a lot of time just planning and not taking action, which has always held me back until I got out of that mindset of needing to know everything before getting started and just taking action and then seeing the results and iterating from there. Knowing something and not taking action is the same as not knowing. The only way you're going to get results and ultimately fill that knowledge gap, I guess, is to take action and make changes as you go. So whether you take the time to do some research in the beginning, just start taking action as soon as possible, because nothing really compares to actual experience. And the only way you're going to get the experience that you want is by taking action and learning on the go. The second thing that holds a lot of people back is shiny object syndrome. This is when you have a tendency to chase the newest or latest thing. It may be because it's something that's trending, maybe someone that you know is doing something, but you keep jumping from one thing to another. This is generally going to be, again, caused by not having or attaching enough purpose or meaning or having a why behind what you're doing. If you're just looking at, for example, maybe the business model or the industry or the type of service you're offering or building a business in a certain way, if you don't have that vision in place, if you don't have some type of guiding light that is really driving you forward, pushing you forward, pulling you forward, I should say, pulling you towards your vision, pulling you towards your goals, you're just going to be detached from everything that you're doing, and you won't be driving towards one destination or one outcome. When you don't have that guiding light that is pulling you forward, you're going to be jumping from one thing to another because you're going to be looking for external validation. Maybe you're wanting some type of external success. You're chasing money. You're chasing some kind of status or something like that, rather than building something for the long term that's bolstered on purpose and meaning and is aligned to the vision or goals that you have. And it's not about chasing the new cool thing either. what's going to get you better results is by committing to one thing for 12 months, not 12 things for 1 month throughout the year. Because every time you jump from one thing to another, you're essentially resetting your progress because you have to start again. I think sometimes in the beginning it does make sense to try different things, but once you have an idea of what you actually want, jumping from one thing to another is not going to get you there faster at all. If anything, you're moving sideways, which at least you're moving and doing something, but you want to be driving forward. And the key really is with patience and persistence. You'll know if something is right or not when you found that thing. And once you've found that thing, honestly, just stick to it and keep compounding on that one thing. Don't keep jumping to the next thing hoping that you progress faster, because you'll progress faster once you start making momentum, and the more you move forward and create momentum, the faster things actually move. The third reason why we often give up on our goals or we feel stuck is due to environmental influence. So this is surrounding yourself with the wrong people or places. I heard this quote the other day that I absolutely loved and is super relevant for this topic, which is, your frequency is who you frequently see. So the people that you are spending the most time with, you're going to absorb their energy. You're going to become their frequency. So if you're surrounded by people that are dissatisfied with life, they're miserable, they are super negative, it honestly spreads like an infection. Even if you think that you can be tolerant of it or it's not going to affect you, I think it does to a certain degree to everyone, and it affects your mindset, and your mindset affects your decisions affect your actions, and your actions affect your outcome and results. So if you want to stick to your goals and feel unstuck, surround yourself with people and places that give you energy, that don't drain you of energy, that don't change your mindset into a negative mindset. I don't think being happy or positive 100% of the time is realistic. Those people actually make me suspicious. But I do think it's important to surround yourself with people that you respect, that you feel that you can get and give value to or get value from, that you can learn from, that have experiences that interest you, that have similar or aligned goals. Because if those people you're spending a lot of time with drain you of energy, it may be time to reevaluate your friendships and connections and actually look at ways that you can put yourself in environments that expose you to people that are more aligned to the life and business that you're trying to build. So those are the three main reasons that I believe a lot of people will give up on their goals too soon, because they have a knowledge gap, they are experiencing shiny ball syndrome, and because they have negative environmental influences. Looking at these three things, I'm sure all of us could find ways that we can improve any gaps in knowledge, making or staying committed to the right things for long enough to enable them to work, and putting ourselves in environments that are conducive to the kind of life and business that we want to build, I think is really important. Remember that it is totally in your control to make a change. No one else is going to do it for you. So the first step is to identify what needs to happen and just start taking action and make those changes that are going to ultimately help you build the life and business that you want to.